Hey,
Hello?
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Where you calling in from?
Waco, Texas.
Oh, that's what's up. That's you ever heard of what is it, Eagle Pass, Texas?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, I was out there for a short while, like couple. I think back in like December. Yeah, I like Texas. Texas pretty cool. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I like.
yeah. What I really noticed though, it really like made me want you to be a guest for real. Is just like how you're real in tune with nature. You know what I'm saying? And like what I noticed too, because I've been actually getting like more frequently out in nature myself, and just like
Yeah,
it really like it feel like you like living. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
what I noticed, like I used to live like in big cities like New York, Chicago, places like that, and like and you always, even though you around people, you always like in a city, like buildings and things like that can like you get what I mean?
exactly.
Block frequencies,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like being like around trees. I was out there today too, like being like around trees, water, and just nature is just really, because it's a difference between being in a park and being in nature. You know what I'm saying?
It calms you down.
Yeah,
It does something like naturally. It just calms you down.
right. Yeah,
And especially whenever you're grounding and stuff, and you put your bare feet and stuff, it's even like I don't know if you get this, but I know when I ground, it like feels like electricity is going straight through your bottom of your feet.
mhm.
And then like when you're done or whatever, and you end up putting your shoes back on because you gotta go or whatever, then it's like this sensation that it leaves in your feet, and your body just feels relaxed.
That's deep
You know,
though.
because you are grounding with the ground, so you're getting all that energy as well.
No, but for real, that's really deep that you said that because thinking about that, because how we are like carbonated anyway. So
Yeah,
dealing with solar energy and everything strengthening your bones, sending like that whole like electric relaxation, you know what I'm saying, through you. And on top of that, you know how some people like to listen to music, things like that. Say if you listen to the good frequencies while you're out there too, that really like climaxes. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I've gone out there with my singing bow too, and done the little singing bow, and it's so relaxing.
Wow, that's dope. I noticed too
Yeah,
you're heavy into the herbs too.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I noticed that because like that's real deep. 'Cause I saw you had put up was talking about sea moss and what got me is the one you have put up that helps cleanse blood. You know what I'm saying? That's real dope.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of herbs. The blood is very important to be cleansed. It got to be cleansed, and a lot of people don't even know, but their blood is dirty. With it, they think it's not. A lot of us lack iron, so it's really learning about the body too. You got to learn the body in order to even know what herbs you need and stuff. Because if you don't learn that, and you just getting into herbs, then it's like you just basically getting into herbs just to sell herbs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But me, it's a whole different. I'm trying to also give people knowledge and understand the body and how it works and why certain herbs you need for certain things.
Yeah, like
But
elaborate more on the aspect of the cleansing blood, 'cause that's a deep aspect, especially like in a sense.
okay,
Yeah, go ahead. Just yeah, I'm gonna let you talk on that for real. I'm interested in that.
so there's most people walk around with dirty blood, anyways, unless they have actually done a detox and actually got the herbs needed. They're walking around with dirty blood. So your blood could be dirty simply by lack of iron. That's really what it is. Your lack of iron. Since we are carbonated beings, we need. And let me say this before I get into that. It does depend on your DNA and your blood type and stuff as well.
Mhm.
People don't know that, so that's why not everybody's body works the same with herbs. And it gets deeper than that. But yeah,
Wow.
so uh, it definitely is with the carbonated beans. We lack a lot of iron, and and that's why there's all these deficiencies. And then when we keep putting this diet, the American diet that they call, it's like the pyramid. You know, when you go to the doctors and they start teaching you this, and even health classes and stuff, this food pyramid, which includes dairy and processed foods and just all this stuff, and it's like gonna cause mucus in the body. So not only are you dealing with that, you're already bombarding yourself, you know? So it's like, it's crazy because I was having this talk yesterday and I was telling, it's my ex-boyfriend, we were talking and building about knowledge too. And he was talking about, I forgot what we were talking about. I was telling him, I was like, it's crazy because I've came so far along in the journey to where I look back at myself and I just look like, dang, I was really walking around dead, like walking dead, like they say. But that's the actual walking dead, like you not knowing who you are. You're in this false illusion. And not only that, your health is just so poor and you don't even know it, you know?
Yeah, that's deep, the aspect of the walking dead, because like you're like spiritually just not there. That go back to the electricity aspect.
You're physically there, but inside you're dying.
Yeah, you're a sunken place. And
yeah, your soul is there, but it's not. It's like something has to trigger it, and because you got to remember you've been clouded since birth. A lot of people, especially here in the U.S., they've been clouded since birth, whether it be vaccinations or whatever. So there's a lot of detoxing and self-realization that has to come about. And not everyone's going to go through it, though. So
do you eat meat?
I don't eat no meat at all.
I really want to get to that point as well, because
I mean, it wasn't easy, you know? Everything is a journey. Especially when you grew up not knowing, you know, and then even when you do find out, it still takes steps because now you're used to it. It's like a drug. It's scientifically, it's really a drug. You're addicted to these drugs, and people call it food, but it's not. And there's certain things in these foods, and that's what you're addicted to.
Yeah, it's just like the chicken with the hormones and all of the things that I remember I saw an image of it.
Not only that, the DNA and your DNA starts changing, and once your DNA changes, it gets used to it. So it's now you're gonna have to like reverse it, type of, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta reverse it. Like that's what happens when you're detoxing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's true. You got a lot of people who go through the whole aspect, like you just said. A lot of us don't really know our DNA. You know, that's a deep aspect, because going back to the spiritually dead part, then think about that, you know what I mean, when you lack that light. You get where I'm going? Because then you lose that whole electric vibration, you know?
Yeah.
Then on top of that, we get the music frequencies that's throwing us off, the televisions, etc.
Yeah, there is so much, especially just being in the U.S. You're bombarded by all kinds of stuff. We can go all day about it.
The water.
Bombarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, water, just everything, all the frequencies, whether you have your TVs plugged in and sleeping at night, and the frequencies coming off the TV, like everything is bombarding your mental, your spirit, or should I say, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's bombarding your spiritual being.
Yeah, think about how a lot of us can't sleep without the TV being on, or just even it being plugged up. Better yet, it being plugged up, but having it on.
It's crazy.
The electricity in the house is throwing you off because it's artificial. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like you said, people sleep with the TV on. I don't know how they do that. I always used to be the one to not. I just couldn't. I was like, I do not like the TV on. But yeah, some people sleep with the TV on and they don't even know that the blue light's hitting them. There's just so much things that goes into it. Not only that, the radiation coming off the TV that they don't even know about. So many things.
Then on top of that, electric stoves, we cook with artificial heat, artificial fire.
And that's microwaves. There are people that have, I don't even own a microwave at all. I haven't in years. Because when I studied about radiation, and all these people are most of Americans, or even people in the U.S., they all have microwaves in their house, and they use it to warm up food leftovers or whatever it is that they warm up in there, them easy Lunchables or whatever they do, and then little do they know they're putting radiation in their food and they're eating it. And then so it's the food, yet it's the other factors included. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it gets so deep to the part where what pans are you using to cook? That's how deep it gets. Like, I'm so into, like, it gets so deep. I try to live as natural as possible. I don't even use showers. I don't use showers at all. I don't even touch the sink water. I have gloves. You know them big gloves and rubber gloves like they used to use in the old days and they showed pictures of? I use that. I do not touch the water.
Yeah, like the big old yellow ones?
Yes,
yeah.
I do not. I don't touch the water at all.
Yeah.
You won't catch me touching the water.
That's deep right
like,
there. Yeah. Have you ever lived outside of the U.S.?
No. I've been out of the U.S., but I haven't actually lived out there. No.
What, you don't mind me asking, like, what places, like Europe, Caribbean?
I've been to Mexico. Okay. I do want to go more, like, I've been in different parts of Mexico. I want to go more into, like, different parts and stuff in different countries. Like, I want to go to Jamaica.
See, that's where my people from Kingston. That's why I see you always.
Yeah, I love their vibe. They're so soulful. Like,
awesome.
The way about them, they have a lot of spirit and soul, and
Yeah,
I feel that from them.
I've been there when I was a kid at the time. I went to Kingston, over in Kingston 11 area, where my family's from. So yeah, it was really cool. Like, it's very different. And then I was just living out in Ecuador. The one was just 2019. I was there for like 5 months. And that right there, the whole shock through me, because one, I was in elevated air. You get what I'm saying? So I breathe better. Yeah, I breathe better.
That's another thing. Like, whenever you're talking about health, so when you say, like, this is the thing, yes, herbs has a lot to do with your health. That's a real important factor, but also the other factors that we don't talk about,
Yeah, the air is
important. I talk about it every now and then, but sometimes you got to do these things, like where two people get together and actually have a conversation and address these things that people just try to sweep under the rug and just,
Yeah.
Like, if it's not.
That's why you know what makes it think too, why we like a lot, like as people like who like meat a lot, is because a part of you is still like, it's really like cannibalistic, you know what I'm saying? When you think about it. Because
it is.
Yeah,
it really is.
Because when you eat that, not even just talking about the animals, I'm talking about that it can be, that's why they're able to put human meat and a lot of things and sell it to you. Can't tell the difference, because that go back to what you're just talking about your DNA is shifted to becoming addicted to whatever is in the meat,
Yeah, so that's how deep it gets, and some people think it's as like, because also their mindset, they're not used to the unknown or hearing things like this, because I know I was at one point, like, I remember I was in high school, I think it was 9th grade, and there was this girl, she took, we were having these tests, when we get these, I think it was like a yearly test thing.
Right.
So we had to get these tests, and then she had brought, like, fruits and stuff, and, my toxic self at the time, I was eating just junk, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
she had all that, and I looked at her. I remembered it. I don't know why this stuck with me, but it's funny because I do know now. It's basically my spirit was talking to me back then, and I didn't know. But I remember looking at her like, why is she eating like that? She young. Like, eat whatever you want. Like, is your parents, like, I would think that in my head, like, is her parents making her do that or whatever? And somebody asked her, like, why is she eating like that? And she's like, because it's healthy for you. And then I remember us laughing, me and my friend, and then she was all like, if you knew it was in the milk and stuff, you wouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, because
at that time, it's crazy, because at that time, I was like, not even worried about what she said at that time. And now I'm just like, this whole, like, advocating this knowledge and stuff that I've gained, because it gets really, really deep, especially with me now having kids. It's like, it opens up a different part of you whenever you have kids too. That's another thing. A different kind of care whenever it's pure. You know, when it's pure, when the intention is actually pure, not like just anybody.
Right.
Because anyone can have kids. They don't mean they're gonna be pure. But
that's deep though. That aspect that you brought up about because when I was over there, I was over there, and then they was making like they was boiling peaches and stuff like that, and we would go out there get avocados. We would pull them down off the tree with like a spear, get lemons off the tree, stuff like that. It was, and I shed like 40 pounds over there quick. I was shedding.
But it was just shedding the stuff that needed to be detoxed out of your body if you actually think about it.
Yeah, because I was eating like boiled peaches. When we ate meat like chicken and stuff, it'd be like the chickens. I was like, "Is that a baby chicken?" And they're like, "No, it's an adult." The chicken was so small. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like here is because there's a lot of we already know.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of modified stuff over here,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
It's different. Even like my sister went to I forgot what part of Mexico last year or 2 years ago, and she brought back some stuff from over there. She brought some apples and stuff, and their apples are smaller.
Yeah.
And they just look different. They look more earthy. Like you could tell nothing was wrong with it. And like the way you taste, it just tastes so like. It just tastes so good. Like, that's all I can say. Like, just natural, earthy type of, like, nothing was put in.
Notice the thing they did, too, what got me is just so much how they love to destroy life. They literally killed the seeds and the fruit now. For a long time. They've been doing this for years. But now you're buying seedless grapes, seedless, apples, etc., whatever you want to say. And it just makes you...
Well, yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, so you can go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, these seeds, and then they sell these seeds, though, that actually produce, like it overproduces in order to supply all this food that they supposedly say we need and that we need it in a hurry. But we already know what it all is. It's all basically to control the DNA of the human species.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
To destroy us from the inside out, because what's in you is going to come out of you eventually, you know?
So it's crazy because I was just talking about this the other day. I posted it too, just a little bit, not too much, of course, but I posted about how they're buying up most of the farmland here.
Oh, yeah, Bill Gates got like, 60-something%?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like he's part of technology. Why you're buying up the farmlands, and it's all because, the genetic modification and the nanotechnology that's going into these fruits and people.
You heard him.
And it gets so deep to the point, like, you're going to have to watch, like, if our ancestors were here, they would be to the point where, like, no, you're not going to date that person because
it's the Holocaust, man. That's what we like living.
Yeah, that person's DNA is damaged already. You can't. And if that person's not trying to, especially with the nanotechnology, it's going to get deeper. Like, people don't understand. And they're going to be really walking around like zombies. Like, it's going to be crazy. That's why people need to start learning now to
because they
grow
already
their own
fruit and everything. And then going back to Bill Gates.
Man, I have so many seeds saved right now. Like, I'm ready. Like, I have so many seeds saved. Like, and I was also talking about how people need to learn the maps right now. People are used to technology and there's GPS, and back then, they had maps. I remember when we used to go to Mexico, my mom would travel, and she would travel by map. She would never, back then there was no GPS. There was none of that.
Yeah, the
map. You just had to know the land.
Yeah, because you are getting...
We don't know the land no more. We don't know the land. No one's studying the land no more.
Yeah, the thing about what they doing, too, they add in... The thing about that was so deep about that, you just mentioned that, because notice every so many times... You would have a certain area, and like they'll start changing streets, they'll start changing, they'll start adding businesses, etc., which is so crazy because that's deep. Because just going back to the Bill Gates farmland, like not to digress or nothing, but you remember they had that show That's So Raven. This was like 2004 or 5, and it was the episode on there where they had bought up some machinery, like different type of factories, and they was using the school for a test. And what they was doing was they was bringing in a lot of food where they would make mega hot dogs, mega burgers like the size of boots.
Kind of like Saudi with a Chance of Meatball.
That's the perfect one. Yeah, make me Claudia.
That movie right there, people that are like really dissecting things. That's a good movie to watch because it's crazy.
I forgot all about that one. That's the most recent.
That one's a good one.
How they was modifying. He was a scientist, remember? And that was all predictive programming. And remember, all the land, the people was getting bigger and out of shape.
And like I said, even with that movie, it even kind of shows you how they were trying to make mass production of food. And what did they do to do it? They were genetically modifying it for you to have food. And that's what they're actually doing now.
Yeah.
So all certain movies, they give you these messages. You just got to pay attention.
That's why I be doing breakdowns on them. Yeah, I always be doing a lot of breakdowns.
Some of them might be, some people might laugh at it like it's funny. And it might be funny, but if you actually breaking it down, like there's the messages encoded in there. You just got to pay attention.
Yeah, because Bill Gates, you see, he already got the vegan Impossible. Why is this man over making burgers from Burger King? He made an Impossible Whopper where it got 10,000 times the estrogen than a regular Whopper in it.
Yes, and what's crazy is like people are buying this. Like some of the vegan people I see, I'm like, oh man, like y'all don't even know. Like
just because it say vegan, they get it,
Yeah, and that's another thing. But I do topics every now and then. Like I have not gone live on so long, but it's like I'll be going so deep. Sometimes people don't have that how you say attention span. They don't last that long to even want to hear the knowledge. Word. You know what I'm saying? So they just exit out the live or whatever when they can't handle the deep truth because it gets deep. It really does, and it'll start making mistakes.
I was talking to a sister the other day. We was talking about this. I had her on the call, and she was like, she I think she said she used to be in Baltimore, and she was like, you go, 'cause we already know about the hoods. This is everywhere. So let's just use that. It's everywhere. But, you're going to find a liquor store and convenience stores, and they might have one supermarket that's kind of try to act like they producing clean and healthy foods, but it's all GMO. You better off eating Whoppers if you're going to eat the GMO fruit, because it's doing the same thing to your body, And
you know what's funny? Like, a lot of the vegan food, too. This is how crazy it gets, because a lot of the vegan food, if you look, you got to really actually read the ingredients. People just think because it's vegan, they pick it up, oh, it's good. Some of these things say modified stuff. Like, it'll tell you in there that this stuff is modified. And it'll also have soy. Soy is really bad for the body, but they still buy it.
Oh, yeah, it destroys your brain. It destroys your pineal gland bad,
Not only that, it feminizes men. Like, there's so much things that happens when you consume soy, and people don't even realize it.
A lot of
and a lot of vegans, they take soy. They think it's okay.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's bad on the brain and on the masculinity. You're definitely right. 'Cause like I ate real avocados when I was over there. I ate avocado and I ate them here, and I'm like, you can taste the whole difference. And when you eat an avocado as a male, you feel like more masculine. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel more masculine because it's a masculine food. You don't want, as a man, you don't want to be eating. That's why you see chicken is the main source of food in the black communities and just urban communities, because that's a female. You know what I'm saying? A chicken is feminine. So if you're eating chicken, then you're eating all of these other things. There's a lot of like soy, like you said, soy, and it'd be a lot of soy in a lot of the sides you might get. When you get the chicken, so that's more feminine.
Yeah. That's and it gets so deep that it goes to even like, this is what I said earlier, that I don't shower because I don't even let my kids shower in the shower. It gets that deep because unless you have like a real, even though I don't even know, I don't trust the water here.
You talking the one that they talking about like get clean the water, like the shower head.
Yeah, but I'm very sketchy when it comes to that.
Yeah, that gets in your skin. It does get in your blood. You're right about that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So all them chemicals that they do not filter out, and this is biochemical. This is all kind of chemical. It's a war zone in the water going on, and these people talk about these hot showers.
Yeah.
These people that talk about these hot showers, they're the main ones absorbing it in their body. And they don't even know.
Yeah, because that's a lot of heat. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that because of heat.
Yes, it's opening up their pores, and it's going right into their bloodstream. The body's absorbing all that. So all these chemicals and stuff and toxins is now in your DNA and your bloodstream.
That's when we go back
to
cleaning your blood. That's deep.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, like even when I was like around that, like I was talking about when I was there, I had, like I said, plus I shed the weight, plus on top of that, I had a lot of energy. We used to walk a lot. I had a lot of energy. I breathed different. When I came back here, I was like, yo, this is just it's like a war zone, you know? And how they program the people, because I just went over there on the wet lot. You know, I had saved up pennies, quarters. I had like a couple of thousands worth when I just went over there. But a lot of the people, when you come back talking about this type of stuff, because they program, as soon as I came back, it's a show called 911. I had saw it on the TV when I came back, and they was on there telling, you know, when you travel, you know, you can get diseases. But I'm like, they program the people to stay, you know?
Yeah.
People are, oh, man, you can't just go places like that. And I'll be hearing people, I don't want to go because it's dangerous. I'm like, they showing you that so you stay here. When you go over there, it's like, wow. You know?
Yeah, it's because people are that's how programmed people are, though.
Yeah.
They live in a shell, in a little bubble. Have you watched the movie WALL-E?
Yeah. Have you seen that movie? What was in the movie? I know WALL-E. Have you seen the Bubble Boy when he was inside the bubble with the tissue and all of that stuff? Social distance?
I have not seen that one.
That's like the early 2000s. I know about WALL-E, though. That was a good one, too. But that Bubble Boy, that was crazy because he was inside the bubble and he was rolling around. Everything he needed was in the bubble. Tissue, whatever he needed.
That's crazy.
You know? Yeah. But WALL-E, what about WALL-E? Because I ain't seen that since like when it first came out.
Well, it's just like where they're programming, they're stuck in. It's kind of like how they're programmed. They're stuck like they're watching a screen and they got this thing over their head, right? And they're like in this simulation, kind of like the things that you see people playing now with their Xbox. They wear the what is it called?
Oh yeah, those virtual reality goggles.
Yeah, them things.
Yeah.
It's like they're stuck in them things, and like I think there's like a switch that they hit or something, and then everybody wakes up and they're all fat and realize, oh, like what just happened? What's been going on this whole time?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they're waking up to reality.
You're real in that world, but in this world, you're this. You know.
Yeah, like look what you've been brainwashed this whole time. Look how you look and type stuff. Like that's how that movie kind of like they finally woke up to what was really going on. So.
Yeah, that's like a you'll call that right there. Like you really undergoing like shell shock for real, because in reality, when you wake up, you know, you look at that and a lot of people when you come back, you want to get back in that virtual world because that's where you have power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where you feel.
That's your habitat.
People, man, it's crazy. People are in like a comfort zone. They don't step out of it. They're scared to. They're scared to feel their own power. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why everybody got strengths, you know. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly,
you know?
But I speak on it because I used to be that person.
That's so I try to, but at the same time, it's hard love. You gotta know when to utilize hard love, you know. And then at the same time too, it's like we gotta remember how to meet them where they at because we were there. That's when a point of relations come in, know how to relate to people. Because, like, for instance, somebody who on crack, just hypothetically, somebody who's on a crack pipe, if somebody who never done crack pipe tell them what's the harms of it, they're not going to listen. They're like, you don't know what I'm going through. But if you have somebody who was once on a crack pipe, and now they're a new person, they can reach them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly. Yeah, that's a deep thing.
Possibly, because it got to be the person's will, too.
Yeah, and we all submit and we forgot about utilizing our will, you know?
It's because that's what they've been programmed since they were little in school. You can't do this. You can't do that. They've been programmed this whole time, so now it's like even okay, so say like you're in a work environment and you were to speak out on something that you know is not right, but the job don't care because they're gonna make you do it anyways because it's what they say or you gotta go.
Right.
So now people are scared though to even say what they believe because they have this sense of they're powerless because they might lose their job for opening up their mouth. It's the same thing like with stepping into your power and who you are. It's like they're afraid to because a lot of people now they're gonna realize a lot of people are living these fake lives and how can they be real in a fake environment when everybody's being fake?
Yeah, it's the same.
Now they're feeling like
the Sims, you know?
Yeah, and now they're feeling like they're out of place, but it's like no, now you're in place. You know what I'm saying? Like
that happened to me. To elaborate on that, like a real life situation, when I was living in Chicago, and it was this when I was actually doing like a project at a Walmart, like refixing up a Walmart or whatever. And the guy was trying to talk. It was one of the managers. He was basically trying to like talk down on an elder guy who worked with us. And I'm like, bro, I said he don't even bother nobody. Like he a cool, jazzy guy. He don't bother nobody, you know. And he was like, oh, he said, so you got something to say? I said, yeah, because I'm not about to just sit there and let you just disrespect an elder like that in front of me when he ain't even do nothing. He did what you asked him. And the other guys looking at me, they looking like, why you talking? He's like, all right, man, you know what, you just go over there and work with that team, man. So I go over there, and it's somebody he know. It's this lady that he know, I guess, because it's his friend's wife. And then they, you know, she's over there bullying a guy, yelling at him. I'm like, hold on, like, what's going on over here, you know? So at the time, I was a whole different person. Like, I learned how to, like, I'm not as aggressive as this is like a whole year ago. But at the time, I was cussing at her, going off with her. And then she was, I'm going to go tell. I'm like, you know, I said, I'm not about to deal with no job like this. You know? I just step off. I'm like, for one, if I stay, they're going to just keep trying to come at me. And then it was going to be, like, always, I was going to be out of comfort. You know, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you were always going to eventually get to the point where you might explode, like, on some, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, defensive, you know?
Yeah.
No, you know, yeah, it's like that. And that's the reality, though. In our real world, think about, we don't have freedom of speech no more. You know what I mean? When you speak out on anything, we have it. I'm saying we have it. But I'm talking about, like, how they want it, where no one has freedom of speech, because that goes back to what we were just talking about, the whole entire convo. Individuality with DNA. You know, everyone's an individual. That's what makes a community is a group of individuals coming together using, you know, like we said, what your will is to make a full community. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has weaknesses, you know. But, they definitely taking away that individual aspect, because then you're just like a body with what they have living inside of us. First, the food, like we go back to the food, this was controlling a lot of the people, you know, then the music.
Man, it's very important.
You feel me? The food. And you notice that, too, when you look at certain foods, like, for instance, celery, that look like bones, human bones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got carrots look like the eyes, mushrooms, like grapes look like the lungs. So everything resembles, because I remember you had a post, and you was like, we are the trees. You know?
Yeah, because, I mean, man, you could just look at the tree and look at the little veins running inside the leaves and stuff.
Yeah, the central nervous system. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's its own little thing, too.
Yeah, I've been on that for a minute. When I saw that, I said, I'm glad to see somebody able to see this, because that right there was serious, because, like, we're literally the tree. That's why they, when you look at it, that's why they attack our minds, because, you know, just like a tree, it gives us oxygen. You feel me?
And the water. Why water? Water is very essential to our beings.
Mm-hmm.
That's why water.
75%. And then, like, our brain, like 70-something% of water, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our whole bodies. So when you're compromising that, you're compromising your whole being from not being spiritual, and you're basically able to be controlled, you know?
Mm.
So